Okay, we are live. Isn't that wonderful? um, yeah, totally unprepared live stream. So let's see how it goes. I have some post-it notes here, um, and and all of that. So yeah, fingers crossed. Now, honestly, it doesn't really matter so much. I feel because YouTube being what YouTube is now, it's why bother? It's like, why bother? Um, yeah. So we will see if someone shows up. Um, if you wonder what is in my ear, it's just a clip-on uh, earbud, actually. So yeah, I think they work very well. It doesn't. You don't put them in the air. They're just on the air. So yeah, so that's what it is. Um, yeah, you know it. It's an interesting time that we live in now. Very interesting. As someone who studies um, the culture and human nature, I would say I'm studying not on a university level. It's a hobby. It's a hobby. A man needs a hobby, right? It's interesting. I think that what we are seeing now is the result of how social media is being used and is being used to and contributes massively to moving the masses, the population's opinions and their feelings. And I think the keyword is their feelings, because I come from, you could say, a tradition. I will use the word tradition as as an intellectual. It would be foolish to say that I'm not an intellectual, even though it creates some distance to people. But I don't care so much about that. But as an intellectual, I come from a tradition where you look at the facts. You do not form an opinion. You hold, you control your feelings, and you care about the facts. And what I'm seeing is that more and more people now, they get kind of tricked or swayed into developing a certain feeling, and then just they don't even cherry pick the facts to fit that feeling. They are presented the facts that, or the lies that fit that feeling, are given to them by social media and demagogues out there. And there are quite a lot of demagogues. You see them, especially in the USA, of course, um, um, since Obama. Well, probably before that, but he was a massive demagogue. Now we have Trump, of course, who is a demagogue. And in the EU, they're not really demagogues, but they are creating a map that doesn't fit with the terrain. In other words, they are saying things that are not true and constructing problems that would not be there. Like, they have a solution that they want to sell, so they construct a problem. Okay, I'm being very abstract here. Okay, I'm sorry about that. As I said, this is totally unprepared, so this is how my mind works. This is how the little the little cogs in the machinery. They run around. They move fast sometimes. um, and I I would say that if I had the energy to watch the memorial ritual for Charlie Kirk, I would have watched it, but I knew what it was going to be like, and I hate things like that. Uh, a tragic death is being used like that. It's just disgusting, in my opinion. And no fucking word about that couple, Democrats that were killed, and their dog not long ago. Not a word. Not a word. Do you even know about that? You know. Moving on. YouTube. What a joke. What a joke. What a fucking joke YouTube is now. Um, why do they call it YouTube? Well, it's already a brand, but it's not about you. It's AI Tube now. So they released a whole bunch of updates that lowers the bar to create quote unquote videos on YouTube. And when they do that, what happens is that you will get channels being manufactured, mass manufactured, and their videos will be mass manufactured using AI, and very soon you won't be able to see the difference between those and the real videos. I think, I'll tell you this. Some time ago, it was my ambition to become an excellent videographer, so that I had someone here who tried to teach me how to use the camera like a professional videographer, the light, all of that. But now I realize you don't want to do that. You want the imperfections, like my last video on the main channel. Now, if you didn't know, what I do here is I do mostly live streams, and I sometimes talk about my main channel, which is a much bigger channel. And on my main channel, it's mainly about the Viking Age, and I'm out in nature making those videos. And the last video there, on the one about white slavery, the Vikings, they participated in that. They captured slaves and all of that. Sold them off to the caliphates. But my what I'm trying to say is that while I was filming, the sun was rising, and the light came in at an angle which made it was not perfect. But I thought, you know what? That's good, because the AI videos will not have that imperfection with issues. They won't have issues like that because they're not real. So I'm going to keep all the imperfections so that people can know that this is a real channel, a real person. And another thing I want to tell everyone, I don't think people will listen, but I'll say it anyway. Maybe someone out there will pick this up. If you see a channel, if you see a video, you watch a video and you like it, and it's a real video, not an AI video, not an AI enhanced video either, go and just click subscribe. Just don't think about it even. Just, if you like the video and it's a real video, click subscribe. it shouldn't be like it used to be, like people would, oh no, I have to watch more videos of this creator here before I consider subscribing. No, just subscribe. Click the subscribe button straight away. Why? Because what you can then do when you go on YouTube, you click on that little symbol that will show you new videos from the channels that you have subscribed to. So you can the homepage, not interesting. I find the homepage very, very idiotic. I always go to the subscribed channels tab, or whatever it's called, and by clicking on subscribing to channels that are not AI, you will be able to build up a portfolio, so to speak, of real videos, new videos. Let's say if you subscribe to 100 channels. I'm not saying you're going to be a big fan of all those channels, but I would rather have the option of clicking on that subscribed channels tab or symbol and know that those channels, those videos that I see there, they are not AI. They are not AI. And of course, if one of those channels are just not good at all, then you can unsubscribe. But that's how I'm going to do it. I have actually been doing that for a while now. So this is how we can do it. And another thing that you can do is, if you happen to click on an AI video, I've done it, because it's like if I'm waiting for a sequel to a movie, for instance, and here's the trailer for the sequel, and I click on that, and then it's just a fake AI trailer. Thumbs down. You can click on the thumbs down. I know some say that gives the video traction. I do not believe that. I actually don't believe that clicking the like button does anything to the video in the algorithm at all. It's the watch time that matters. But anyway, so that's my advice. So let's see here. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Well, yeah, Charlie Kirk. It's like it's one of these cases where the USA, maybe even Canada, they believe that what is, how should I put it? Charlie Kirk was not known in Norway or Europe. He caught my attention a little bit, actually just a couple of weeks before he was brutally murdered. But it wasn't like he was a figure in social media here. Most people didn't know who he was. But Americans, especially Americans, they tend to think that what they think about, what they see, what they care about is like everyone in the world thinks like that. But that's not the case at all. Yeah, what you go again, YouTube. What you're going to see is an exodus of channels, because it's like, why bother? Why bother? And you know, I don't know actually why YouTube is doing this. Maybe it's just poor management. Maybe it's just poor management. Um, but I don't know. I just can't see how this will be financially beneficial long term, unless they have some plans to kind of slaughter YouTube and just taking all of the value they can out of it before it becomes something completely different. I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, maybe someone saying young people knew in Norway knew about Charlie Kirk. Maybe he was big on TikTok, probably, I guess, but I've never been on TikTok, so I don't know. If you see me on TikTok, there is some fucker out there who stole my content. So yeah, excuse my French. But anyway, I'm having some wonderful days now. I really have to say that autumn is here, and the only downside to the only downside is that the horses on the field behind my house, they're gone. They're in their stables, and not always in the stables, I assume, but they've been moved to I guess you say stables, where the horses live during the winter and so on. They can be in the stables, they can go out and all of that. But on the field, it would be too cold for them now, I think, because we get storms in from the sea, and we get well, will be snow soon. So yeah, so I'm having some wonderful days now. I was out. The reason why I haven't been active here is that I've been doing an author's tour for 2 weeks, not in the entire week, but 3 or 4 days 1 week, and 3 or 4 days the week before this. So so yeah, so now it's good to be back. Good to be back home here and have some quiet days. Getting back to some woodworking in my garage. Going to sort out my longbows, because if you don't use the longbows, they kind of they need to be tillered again a little bit at least. So that's what I'm going to do. If you don't know what tillering is, it's when you I can't get into all of that now, but it's when you adjust the bows by sanding off or scraping off a little bit of wood so that they bend evenly. There you have it. I actually managed to explain it. Yeah, unending earthling, getting off the internet as much as possible. Been working at it for months. Yeah, I agree. Getting a light phone in November. Yeah, that's, I'm still waiting for my light phone. Still waiting. I've emailed them twice. They say it will be here, but it's not here yet. So Sami, I got a question from Malmö. Planning to visit Norway, been to Oslo before. What other cities do you recommend? I think all the other cities are nicer than Oslo, Bergen, Stavanger. Yeah. Bergen mentioned here. Absolutely. Yeah. So I've kind of been doing some self-reflection lately, and one big change in my life, I must admit. I'm off the caffeine, which, if you really look into caffeine, you will see it's not healthy at all. It's actually very unhealthy. And for me, that was the right thing to do. And I thought I was like a massive caffeine addict, but and it wasn't that difficult to get off it. But I'm never going back because I sleep much better now. And most nights now I sleep longer. And it's like, it's a difficult one when you talk about it, because many people, they say, oh, don't touch my coffee, and coffee is healthy and all of that. Coffee is only healthy if you're not getting your vitamins somewhere else, you know. But it's I know I'm a bit all over the place now, but this is important for me, so I will talk about it. I drink some Coca-Cola still, but the amount of caffeine in Coca-Cola is very, very, it's not much. And I'm planning to, from next week on, to cut that out completely as well. And Laura, no, I actually energy drinks. So that's yeah. But actually, I've looked into this and I bought a book and everything. And those people saying that energy drinks are poison, but coffee is just cozy and nice. That's not true. That's just not true. um, so I didn't drink much coffee at all. It was the energy drinks, but it's gone now, and that feels good. So it's not like it's a mild addiction, I would say, but it is an addiction. And I think that you should try, maybe, especially if you struggle with sleeping, getting good deep sleep, you know. And what I have noticed is that I have a lot more energy now, more energy, and my workouts in the gym. If anything, I have more energy. I drink only water, and it seems to be the right thing for me. So, and I think I've cut out almost all sugar. Like I say, sugar, like the sugar that you add to things, not carbs completely, but cutting down on carbs as well. What I do eat is I start my day. Well, I haven't eaten breakfast yet, but 4 or 5 eggs, a couple of potatoes. That's my breakfast, and I eat steak, red meat, every day. So it seems to work, and yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So when it comes to sugar, is someone saying it's the most horrible addiction in our sad diet? Yeah. For me, sugar is not it's never been an addiction, I think, because it's very easy for me not to consume any sugar. But I think that now, especially when I see how people eat, it's like crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It's a long discussion, It used to be like sugar is bad for you, and it is. Nobody needs it. But that seems to be, they don't say that anymore. They say, oh, meat is very bad for you. Don't eat meat. That's a stupid thing to say. But anyway, yeah, it feels much better. I feel better. Never going back to the caffeine. Well, I'm quitting the Coca-Cola as well. But I don't think Coca-Cola is that bad because obviously sugar, but it's coffee and energy drinks have a lot more caffeine. But anyway, let's see. Let's change topic again. Interesting. Venom Snake here says, I am a pagan. Do you think that Christianity can be replaced by the old religions of each country in Europe? Bring the old world back? Yes, I think so. I'll say something more about that. I'll just get back to the diet a little bit here. Milk. I think some people are okay with milk. I'm not. So the I don't like the word pagan, but that's the word we use. I would say, if people ask, I would say I'm a Norse pagan, right? And so let's just use that word. When it comes to Norse paganism, the right expression would be sed, fornsed, if you're talking about the old ways. But anyway, yes, I think that if you look at any Abrahamic faith, it's a very it's a hierarchy. Imagine a pyramid, and you have the god on top, whichever god you choose to bend your knee to, and then you have, of course, the king, the nobles, the establishment, the church, people in positions of power directly under that god, and then you have all the peasants. So paganism is not like that. It's a very personal thing. It's not hierarchical. I can't say that word now. There is no hierarchy. Okay. So it promotes individualism, and it opposes the establishment, and it opposes people who try to tell you what to do. Paganism is freedom. And some say, you're given freedom by God. No, that's just a thing that Christian people like to say. It makes no sense at all. So, yes, I think that if people could go back to the old ways, the old way of thinking. So, for instance, a circular thinking, close to nature. We're part of nature. Many things would have been different, and many things would be different in the future. It's another way of connecting to everything and connecting to nature. And I think it would be better for everyone. And not only better for human beings, but better for all living creatures. Now, I'm seeing, of course, a movement, that scares me. When I say scares, it's like, oh, are you scared? Aren't you a Viking? I see that in the comments sometimes. Those people need to understand it's a figure of speech. So it's not like I'm shaking out of fear. I'm worried. It's another other way to say I'm worried. I get worried when I see this movement towards, well, Christian nationalism, and you saw it during that gathering, that march, that protest in London. Up to 1 million people, they say. I can't remember the name now. Someone in the chat will write what it was called. Because it was not only a protest against the immigration to the UK. That whole movement seems to be hijacked by, I don't like to use the word Christianity, because Christianity, following the teachings of Jesus and so on, has nothing to do with what those people are trying to do. Now, of course, I support the protest against the massive immigration into the UK, but I saw that it was kind of hijacked by Christian nationalists. And I was kind of surprised, actually, but yeah, I'm seeing that. So it seems like that's the go-to solution for people who can't think. And that's scary. That's what's scary. We have seen it before. Let's just put it that way. It has led to some very nasty things. So it's like, yeah. I used to say, don't they teach this in school anymore? And now I know the answer is no, they actually don't. So, okay, yeah, that explains a lot. But so that's Christianity, the Christian nationalism. I think it's an abomination. But there are some positive things happening as well. Did you know that now recently the first, what would that be in English? It's difficult sometimes, because the Norwegian or Norse names, if I say it, most people don't know what I'm talking about. Let's a temple. Let's just say a temple. Odinist temple was opened in England. So if you didn't know, it's a place of worship to Odin. And they have a guy there who calls himself a high priest. Again, that I think he's basically a gode, we would call it a gode. Someone who kind of knows what he's doing concerning rituals and procedures, laws, and stuff like that. That would be called a gode. But he's like a high priest in Odinism. I think it's just wonderful. It's wonderful. And I'm sure it will be very popular. So, yeah. Of course, as always, it is important to keep politics out of paganism. Shouldn't be a political matter. Yeah, Wendy, I can try to use the original words. Yeah, so yeah, gode, Gode, would be someone with some authority concerning a ritual or the laws. You have, for instance, a law of gode, which is a master of laws. So when they met at the ting, which is, for instance, a stone circle, right? And they would meet back in the Viking Age, right? And once a year, you had the law of Gode, the master of the laws. He had to remember by heart all the laws, and he would recite from memory all the laws. And then they settled or tried to settle conflicts and so on. So, Unite the Kingdom, that was that protest. It was called Unite the Kingdom, yes, organized by Tony Robbins. Yeah. Someone saying Christian nationalism is not the problem. Well, I think absolutely it is. Christianity and nationalism, it doesn't go together at all. Those two are opposite opinions, opposite ways to view the world. But anyway, yeah, well, Islam is being mentioned here, and I've said before, I think that Islam is a problem. Christianity is more benign than Islam, but you need to understand that to a Norse pagan or most pagans, Christianity and Islam isn't really that different from each other, the way we see it. You bend the knee to the same deity, So to us, it's not that different. But I will say that, it's like I see comments, oh, you said that, so now I will unsubscribe. And why would I fucking care? I don't care. It's like, this is not a popularity contest I'm doing here. Yeah, that's how we view it. Would I rather live in a Christian country, like a modern Christianity, or would I live in a Muslim country? I would much, much, much rather live in a Christian country if we're talking about modern perception of Christianity. But I would rather live in a secular country. And I think that's the only way to go. As a Norse pagan, I don't want the state to be Norse pagan. I think that would be wrong. I think as soon as you make the government, the governing of the state, as soon as you insert your religion there, you're doing something that you shouldn't have done. That's my opinion. Yeah. Samuel says the government is what we make of it. I actually think that the government we have very little to say when it comes to the government. I think that the governments, they're not the ones making the decisions. It's all under an umbrella of a globalist umbrella, so to speak. It's I don't think that they might say that this is what we want, this is what we're doing, but if you look at their connections and where the money is, where the money comes from, I think that it's very obvious that they're just following an agenda. We're getting very close to 2030, only 5 more years. There will be digital ID, there will be a complete system where everything is interconnected. And that's the opposite of freedom. That's the opposite of freedom. And this is one, I have a smartphone now because I got sick and I had to have the tools there. I still, for a few more months, I have to have those tools. But I'm getting rid of it in the future. And by the way, I'm planning for a full recovery. No, it's not my heart. And I didn't get the vaccine. So, no. Yes, that Mountains of Elysium will not ever unsubscribe because we disagree on theology. That's great. Thank you for that. Let's see. Nayland, thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, I'll tell you one thing that will make you sick. Samir, thank you so much. I'll tell you one thing that will make you sick. If you follow the guidelines, the dietary guidelines coming from the government, that will most likely make you sick. And what I'm saying now is I'm so much better now eating like this. So much better. And I'm doing the opposite of what the government is saying that you should do. But it's, you know what? It's not much more expensive either, eating like this. Because I don't buy any of the nonsense that other people buy. I don't buy sweets. I don't buy, well, still some sodas, but that will be gone as well. I don't buy almost no vegetables, no fruit, no bread, no the stuff you put on your bread. Nothing. Eggs and steak, some potatoes. So it's not that expensive actually. Well, that's relative, I guess, but yeah. Most people today, they walk around, they go through life with a constant inflammation in their body, in many of the body's systems. No fruit. Oh yeah, sorry. Some fish now and then. But it's not my favorite food. Yeah, so most people, they go around, constantly they have an inflammation or several inflammations in their systems, and they don't even know it, and they keep feeding their body all these toxins. Did you know all plants have toxins in them that we do react to? And then they eat all this fiber that just flushes out essential vitamins and minerals. So most people, they don't get enough magnesium. So, but anyway, yeah, yes. Well, we don't have we do have genetically modified food in Europe, but in Norway, I don't think so. But it's it's like all the fruits and all the vegetables that you eat, they have been not genetically modified, but they have been vastly modified, and they don't look anything like they used to look in nature. You know. So yeah, now we are talking about food. I really, really want that omelet now. Yeah. So Samir, pork is not toxic. It's a good meat to eat. It's not my favorite. I prefer red meat. But anyway, Mr. Mission Control. I got unsubbed somehow. I'm sorry about that. YouTube is doing that all of the time. Huti Prime says, you don't want to survive what is coming. Well, absolutely, I want to survive what is coming. Absolutely. I want to. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, bacon. Yes, I love bacon, but the bacon you buy in the stores, it's not. It's been treated, with now I forget what they put in it. They put something in it to preserve it, and that's not good for you. But anyway, nitrates, yes. Yeah, Otto says processed meats are terrible. Yeah, processed meats are not healthy at all. Like sausages and cured meat, because it's not cured like they did back in the old days. They put chemicals in it. So yeah, fresh meat. So okay. Oh, do we have? What was that? I put some guy here in timeout. Was he talking about? Oh yeah, the rapture. Yeah. Oh, they think that ground zero. It's going. They're going to be beamed up to the carpenter's son. I see. Are we going? Is that a thing now? Are they gathering? Are they gathering at ground zero to be beamed up Are they? Because I don't follow the news so closely anymore, because I think it's just idiotic. At this point, it's just I don't know. We look at the USA from Norway, and it's like, wow, look at, it's all crazy over there. Ozarks, is that they go there? Maybe they go to different places. What if they go to different places and the rapture happens, and it's a completely different place, like in the middle of Namibia or something like that. Uh, yeah. Queen of Detroit says, no man knows the day or the time. Cut it out. I can assure you, I will not cut it out until I decide to talk about something else. This is not your live stream, it's mine. Yeah, no, it's interesting when you look at it. You have a mythology, and it's being, so here's what I think is happening. Some people, it's like with preppers. Now, should you be a prepper? Yes, absolutely. Not the kind of prepper who has 100 guns, but should you prepare for natural disasters and so on? Yeah, of course. But some of these preppers, the doomsday preppers, I think they secretly want doomsday to come, because they feel they would be better off. They would be special if that happened. And the same with believing in the rapture. Oh, you're the chosen one. You go up to heaven, and you sit on a cloud and you play your harp. And the other, and people like me, we're just in hell or something like that, you know. So it must be comforting to believe in that. And yeah, so I get it, you know. But it's, come on, if you're an adult, you shouldn't go around believing in stuff like that. It's just it's mythology. It's like if I say that, well, you know, are you preparing for Ragnarok? Are you? I won't say that, because that's obviously part of, that's mythology. It's a symbol. It's an made in a different time, by the way. And there's a lot to learn from that story, but it's not to be taken in a literal sense. So that's the problem with these fucking morons who go to these places where they stick their fingers into each other, and they do their brainwashing. And if that offends you, I can assure you that there are actually microbes on the ocean floor that care more about you being offended than I do. What I'm trying to say here is that, listen, it's like you know that you have this life here. What comes after that, nobody knows. So make the most out of it. This life, it's supposed to be a good life, and not everything is going to go your way. Not everything is going my way, but we should do our best to enjoy our time here. That's what I believe. So you may call me an extreme person for saying that. Yeah. Mr. Mission Control. So you're telling me you don't care about my pronouns? I don't care about your pronouns. No. But that's a, um, that's an interesting thing, with these new belief systems, modern belief systems. The woke thing, that's a belief system. Basically, it's not grounded in reality. And these people, you can have men with a beard, and they say, "Oh, I'm a day," and I'm like, "No, you're not. You're not. At least shave your beard if you want to come across as the opposite gender." I think so. And you have the people saying that they're non-binary, and it's like, okay, no, you're not. You can't be non-binary. It's impossible. But I'm like, if someone wants to, if that man, he wants to live his life as a woman and try to look like a woman, it's not my, it's not. Why should I judge that person? Really should not. So I would even say she and her, if that makes that person more comfortable. I'm not difficult, but I'm not going to do that because I can get punished if I don't say she and her to a biological male. If there's a law that says that you have to say, you can't misgender, but it's not misgendering. I'm just being correct. Then you can't say him to a man who tries to come across as a woman. You can't say, because then you will get a fine. I will absolutely say him, because you get what I'm saying here. But it's like you don't have to be a complete bastard either. If someone's clearly is trying to come across as the other gender, we can be nice. It's okay to be nice to that person. But anyway, yeah, I self-define as a 30-year-old handsome man myself. Yeah, not a day older than 30 years. And I expect everyone to treat me like that. Yes. It's one of those topics that get people, especially people in the USA, all worked up. And I think it's like, the way I see it, it's like, how often does this trans issue affect me in my daily life? Let me think. Never. It's not something I think about a lot or at all, honestly. Someone wrote something in the comments there that made me think about it. So, yeah. So, unending earthling. Have you taken that identity, the 30-year-old handsome man? Oh, but it's not exclusive. No, Laura, I'm not 53. I'm 29 now. 29. Yes, I self-define as 29. Yeah. And a billionaire. Yeah. And more interestingly, my car, which is a nice car, it's an SUV. I like my car, but it self-defines as a very expensive car of some kind, some very, very exclusive brand. Yes. Okay. But anyway, time for breakfast. I think people are identifying as half Pegasus and half dragon. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Time for breakfast. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.